I'm Jordan DeLong. I'm a graduate student here in the psychology department. And for this project, I've been working with James Cutting for a couple years, looking at, what makes up different components of film, and what makes certain things more effective and certain things less effective at, capturing our attention over time. This paper that was new that we did was all about what type of distribution the shot lengths fall into. There's really no reason to assume that they're going to follow any kind of structure at all. But we found that over time it's become more and more 1 over F, which is less and less random. It's more of a structured pattern of shots over time. There are certain types of these attentional patterns in human reaction times. They're found in the 90s down in Texas, and so if you look at the distribution of those reaction times, these kind of attentional wavering sort of things, it's matching up more and more like the films. So I mean, it's kind of an interesting hypothesis that maybe the reason we're getting more and more this type of structure is because it's relating more and more to our attentional processes, and for that, as the film becomes more and more 1 over F, the more it kind of sucks you in, the more it engrosses you while you're watching it. So you can see over time that kind of around 1960, 1970, you got this increase that happens, which is really interesting. I mean, why is this occurring? And that harkens back to the idea that you've got different directors emulating other styles and kind of adding to it, and so you're evolving towards this type of structure. So, I wrote an algorithm that went through and looked through all of these, sequential frames and tried to find where the cut boundaries occurred, which is both an easy and a difficult process, because there's some cuts that are very obvious, where there's just one person and then it cuts over to the other person. But there's certain ones that are far more difficult to pick up.
So we're in the middle of a shot. This comes up, and the algorithm would often see that as a new cut, because it has incredibly different content. It's all white, and then try to find this as another cut. Mm-hmm. And so that's the kind of thing where you have to go through and make sure it's not thinking there are too many of those things. And there are actually data. There's a fellow named Tim Smith at University of Edinburgh who finds that people tend to miss about as many as 10% of the cuts. So if they got a task and they're just trying to press a button as to sort of when a cut occurs, they miss a lot. And what he was trying to do is characterize the cuts that they miss. And a few, almost everyone misses. And then the rest of it is a problem of attention, in the sense that people just get caught up in the movie. I mean, you're all of a sudden sort of looking at the narrative and stuff like that, and you just forget to press the button.